hooked in the game.
Give me a break, need another life. Oh, need another life, life. Give me a break, need another life.
Welcome to Premier League Flashpoint. This could very well decide, or at least go to some way of deciding the Premier League title. It's the eagerly anticipated rematch. It's Arsenal against City, live from the Emirates. So here it is, the most anticipated rematch of the season. This one could truly shape the destiny of the Premier League title for the 24-25 football season. Win for Manchester City takes them back in front by a point. A win for Arsenal takes them ahead by 5. And if things go their way after that, they could be winning it with even a game to spare. But of course, we still have a lot of game time left to do. But this really could shape the way the Premier League will go. And, well, for the first match, it was all Manchester City, really. Arsenal were kind of not blown out of the stadium in the end by the scoreline, but they certainly had a very tough time of it. And since then, they'd only lost once more, and that was to Real Madrid. They also haven't lost at home for the entirety of this football season. Manchester City only have lost once since that point as well, which turned out to be a vital loss against Chelsea. Let's take a look at the lineup for Arsenal. There's no prizes for guessing the lineup today. It's David Raya, it's Saliba, Gabriel, White and Zinchenko. It's Rice. Kai Havertz is actually a surprise coming in for today, but he's with Martin Odegaard. The front three, of course, I believe, Trossard, Saka, and Alexander Isak. And of course, there, circle him at the front, circle him on the left, Erling Haaland and Phil Foden, the two most prolific Manchester City players this season. They also have Kevin De Bruyne, just to kind of put it in your face, really. Well, if there was ever a time where Arsenal had to take on the adversity and win, today is it. Today is the day Arsenal need to really show their prowess. They have shown all season long at this point. It's Manchester City at the Etihad, and it is for one hand, possibly, on the Premier League title. For Arsenal, it could be that way. Odegaard's already in with Ederson having a save. That's a good start. Even though I don't support really either of these teams, I've never played for either of them, I'm still incredibly nervous because this Premier League season has been nail-biting up to this point. Arsenal have played some of the most beautiful football this season, and it warrants a trophy win of any kind. The Premier League is probably the one they want more than anything after the closeness of the last two seasons. Some say it'd probably take this one and then sacrifice the Carabao Cup for it. I certainly wouldn't go amiss for that, but I think Arteta's going to want to win everything he can, especially considering that Arsenal, as we've said before, are on a trophy drought of 5 years. Last time they won a trophy was the FA Cup back in 2020. So after a bit of a long time and coming so close to the Premier League a couple of times, anything will do at this point for Arsenal. But I think because of the closest of the last two seasons that they came to winning the Premier League, I think this is the one they want to do more than anything. It's Gyökeres as opposed to Trossard. Saka on the other side, of course. And he picks out Martin Odegaard in the box here, but he's forced all the way out of it by Ruben Diaz. Or Rodri, actually. Rodri's a lot further back than I thought. So what does Mikel Arteta do? Does he go full frontal here? Because, of course, I think the next match is going to be that Carabao Cup second leg semi-final between them and Manchester City. He might have Spurs actually coming up first, possibly in the FA Cup. Actually, that could be next. So some big, big matches in this period for Arsenal. But this is the biggest of all, really. This is the one they need to win, probably more than any of the others in the next week or so. Because it really could put the destiny of the title in their hands. Goal coming in. Brighton and João Pedro has scored against Nottingham Forest. But to be all honesty, that's secondary to everything that's happening here today. Of course, Brighton are in the top 8, I believe, and Nottingham Forest are somewhat fighting relegation. So, in that degree, for Nottingham Forest, that actually might end up being a not-so-good result. So, Haaland didn't play in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg, so that'll certainly change things. With Haaland on the pitch today, I think there's no surprise that Pep Guardiola went for him today. He probably sacrificed him in the Carabao Cup final just to have him for this match. Bit of tactical gamesmanship by both managers, perhaps. Oh, Rice is picked out. Here's Alexander Isak. It's a beautiful goal. Does it count? Yes, it does. Alexander Isak's taken the lead for Arsenal. What a goal and what a pass by Declan Rice that was. That was a stuff of beauty. A Declan Rice with a beautiful assist and a most crucial goal. Isak, how did he put that in? He had Ederson coming right at him. It's very unlucky from Ederson's point of view. But Isak just squeezing that in. That could prove to be vital. Arsenal 1, City 0. Oh my. Well, we've said plenty of times this season that man is influential in anything Arsenal achieve this season. That could be the pick of the bunch in terms of vitalness, in terms of that goal. But what an assist from Declan Rice. He absolutely threaded the City defence apart there. Fires to Haaland, and it's a good save by Raya, and Martin Odegaard just able to get that clear. That looked like being a deflection into the back of the net, and that would have been awful luck. David Raya, an absolutely vital save with his hand there. Not really sure how much he knew about it. So, is this going to be a start as we mean to go on from Arsenal? We know that once they get in the first, they usually don't stop until the 90 minutes plus. And that has been a crucial part of this Arsenal side, playing to the end. And that's why they have these incredible runs, especially at home. They've not lost all season so far. Here is Phil Foden. The only 2 losses of the entire season was once in the Premier League at the Etihad, and the other being at the Bernabeu in Madrid. And no surprises for either of them. And everywhere else, Arsenal have been incomparable. And especially at home. Well, he's emulating Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in that regard. There was a time when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I think, went 15 away games without losing. And Arteta's pretty much got that same distinction, but at home. He's gone the whole season unbeaten so far. Gabriel, Saliba and Isak. They are the 3 mainstays. David Raya as well. Ibrahim's immediately responded for Nottingham Forest. It wasn't all that Brighton went ahead. Now Forest have equalised. Now here's Gyökeres, and no one's at the back for City here. Gyökeres has broken clear. And he's at the post. No. I thought he was a shoo-in to score, but he hit the post instead. Here is Martin Odegaard though. Good save by Isak, to be fair. It was a really good goal by Isak, especially considering Ederson was really coming on him at full pace, to be fair. And here is Haaland. How influential is he going to be in inspiring a City comeback here? And of course, a loss to City here could provide Newcastle United with an opportunity to close the gap even further following City's loss to Chelsea. So keep an eye on Newcastle United if it goes the way of the N5 here. And in comes Matthias, and he's offside, so the play will be pulled back. Haaland. Oh dear. That might be odd. I think there might have been a mistake there. I think it was, what, his little toe maybe? You're supposed to know that with some boots on. That looked on to me from that angle. I'm not entirely sure about that one, but Arsenal will certainly take it. Great tackle by Zinchenko on João Cancelo. Saliba running away from Haaland. Who can blame him? Arsenal just want to keep the ball. They're probably going to park the bus, and I wouldn't blame them if they were completely honest. Well, here they come. They're bombing forward with another counter-attack. And here is Isak again. Oh, and that counter-attack just came completely out of nowhere. It started with Gabriel and Rice, or White rather, just shielding the ball and running away from Haaland. All of a sudden, Arsenal are bombing up the other side of the pitch. Absolute scintillating counter-attacking football from Arsenal this season. It's been their kind of bread and butter when you think about it. Beautiful passing like that one for Declan Rice. That has been Arsenal's kind of power move this season. And here's Declan Rice. Can he pick Isak out again? He can. On the very good scoring position this time. Isak tries to find Gyökeres. Here's Diaz. Here's De Bruyne. And here's Foden. And here's Haaland. And here comes City. Stopped in his tracks by Gabriel. Well, the Arsenal fans, I don't think they know whether they should cheer or just wait. Maybe they should just wait until the end of the game and then cheer their hearts out. But here is Isak, maybe to put it beyond doubt perhaps. Good save. Isak is up for this. He really wants more goals. He wants to make sure of this one. He wasn't able to really do much against City at the Etihad, but now he really wants to make sure he can score. He was playing in probably the wrong system and still adjusting to the Arsenal system, but now he's fully thriving in it. We can have a booking here for someone. Martin Odegaard is injured. João Cancelo is booked. Martin Odegaard's back on his feet. He's probably maybe a bit winded. It's a crunching tackle, to be fair. He's probably lucky. We've seen sending offs for probably less than that, to be fair, sometimes. There's Gabriel a lot further forward than probably would be expected. Odegaard to Isak. And now, if City go quickly enough, they can counter-attack, but I don't think they have. Of course, we know Haaland's power and strength to get through pretty much anybody, to be honest. Just trying to keep Haaland off the ball desperately. So much so that Haaland is actually chasing it. And that's going to be out for the corner. Great tackle by Odegaard, to be fair. As the fans scream for a penalty, they're not going to get it. It's a good challenge. It really has that title fight about it, doesn't it? This is truly a title fight, even if it's not for the title, incidentally, yet. But it goes a long, long way to possibly deciding it. And a win here for Arsenal right now takes them 5 points clear. And if the form follows through, like we said, that would mean that they would win the title with a game to spare if they won their remaining games. And that's all Arsenal have to do after this, if they pull off this win now, points on the board. It doesn't matter how many, just keep scoring the points. But don't drop too many that you may need later. Brighton have taken the lead back against Nottingham Forest, because that was one of the Achilles heel of Arsenal last season, the dropping of points or the losses that really shouldn't have been. And they will make doubly sure that doesn't happen this time. And that's why they signed Isak. Foden, tackled by Saliba, then Mateus, tackled by Saliba, and now Haaland's pressured by Saliba, and it's a good save from Raya. That's the first save he's made today. We need De Bruyne to take this corner. It's going to be straight at Raya with Haaland pressuring him, but he keeps hold of the ball. This first half has gone by in an absolute blur, even though there's only been one goal. Isak with great control and a great turn and a great run now from Alexander Isak. Can he score it? Yes, he can. 2-0. And Arsenal can dare to dream the impossible today. 2-0, 2 to Isak. A vital, vital time here right now. It may just shape where the Premier League will be going at the end of the season. And it may just be making its way down to the M5. Or, well, I think it's the postcode. That's what the missus told me. Wow. It's just actually quite a shock, because City have been so impenetrable for most of this season, but Arsenal are somewhat finding it easy today. And that is Isak's 25th goal of the season. One more, and he's just 10 away from the 36 that Haaland set just a couple of years back. On the day that they faced Manchester City and could win, well, not win the title, but it was certainly gone a long way to doing it. Alexander Isak again, he's running at them. And Ederson saves that one. In comes Odegaard. He shielded the ball well, but the shot is straight at him. And that is the end of a first half that could be proved to be absolutely vital. And Alexander Isak has been unplayable in this first half with 2 goals. One in particular, the first one, was a beautiful assist from Declan Rice. And for once, City haven't been at the races. That's fine by Mikel Arteta. Arsenal 2, City 0. The Emirates Stadium, you probably could never hear anything else rather than the roars of the Arsenal fans here this afternoon, because they have been in jubilant mood. We are here for the second half of a crucial day that could just decide the destination of the title. Arsenal win today would take them 5 points clear. A win for City against the odds at this point would send them 1 point back ahead. With still over 10 or so games left to play, I think we're left with about 15 at this point. Well, elsewhere, Chelsea and West Ham is 1-1 now. And Koro has scored, I believe, for West Ham. Here's Mateus for City. Stopped by Gabriel. He's been brilliant. Well, after the loss at the Etihad, I said the response is what is important for this Arsenal team now. They responded in a huge sense. They have gone to win on every game except one. Or maybe 2, because I think Bournemouth was a 1-1 draw, a 0-0 draw, sorry, and they obviously lost at Real Madrid. But that's the only times that Arsenal haven't really been at the races so far. Bournemouth, to be fair, had Aaron Ramsdale in goal, so that had a lot to do with it. But every game after that, especially, or after those 2 in particular, you take those 2 out, and Arsenal have been literally 99% perfect a lot of the time. Here's Haaland. Oh, and Haaland with that speed and strength. He goes up against Gabriel and he pulls it wide. And he did all the hard work. But then he ran into Gabriel. There was some talk that Haaland probably wouldn't be fit enough to play in this game. And don't forget, Erling Haaland is only the second top scorer in the league behind Isak at the moment. But he's falling behind rapidly because of Isak's essential ride in this whole time at the moment. And next will be the second leg against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup. Saka! He's put it in, it's 3-0. It could be game over. Isak and Saka, the tangible two that have been Arsenal's Batman and Robin all season long. What a result this could be. And it would be no one else but Isak and Saka. They would not be denied today. Much like Rooney and Ronaldo used to be for the great Manchester United and Sir Alex Ferguson team, Arsenal have their own two. And they've both scored. And here today, Arsenal have pulled out their five-star football, maybe at the perfect time. Listen to this. Arsenal 3, City 0. And no one expected that going into the afternoon. Well, if the Carabao Cup has to go because Arteta's used his best 11 for this one, they'll gladly take it if it wins them the league, of course. And like I said, he won't do it today, but it certainly could shape a possibility for it. Gyökeres. And he tried to go all the way, and Ederson gathered that one up. Well, it's not that City have been bad, it's just been Arsenal have been too good. And they left it all out there today. For today, more or less. Haaland and Gabriel has had him in his pocket all day. Another great tackle. Oh, he's giving it away to Foden. Oh no. And here's Haaland. And he scores. Curse of the commentators. My bad. I'm terribly sorry to Gabriel, to be honest. But at this very moment, it means very little. Except if City score another two, of course. Well, Phil Foden has been a great ball snatcher all season long. We've seen it. And he took that. And it was a great pass to Foden to be Haaland, to be fair. And, well, Haaland doesn't need a second invitation in that scenario. It's not disaster yet, but Arsenal just need to keep their composure. It's a shame, but if the points still go to Arsenal at the end of the afternoon, it isn't really going to matter too much. That means Erling Haaland is 9 goals behind Isak because Isak's currently on 25. I think. Gyökeres is offside. Oh. Man, the big match feel. It's really insane. I've kind of missed it, to be fair. I have missed this. Big match feels in football. It's been too long. I think Nunez is coming on, by the way. It's him going off for Doku. Yep. So Nunez obviously must be a new signing because I don't think we saw him beforehand. So he might be a new signing actually. Erling Haaland here. Arsenal need to keep shape if they can. Still 30 minutes to play. Still plenty of time for City to get back in this. Right now, Arsenal hope that was really just a blip. Isak is running around the pitch. He is not stopping. Isak has not stopped since minute 1. I think Isak knows that Haaland is like second to him in the scoring charts and he just wants as many goals as he can get today to prove a point. Stones and Isak again! And he scored again! Alexander Isak is having a belter. And a hat-trick for a well-deserved hat-trick at that. He hasn't stopped running all game. He nicked the ball off Stones and he makes it look too easy. Isak's form is out of this world. A hat-trick right in front of Erling Haaland. That's a statement message. Oh my. Pep Guardiola is, well, he's not being played off the park, but Isak is doing all the work for them. Arsenal 4, City 1. That could be game over. '26 now for Alexander Isak. How many more? Brilliant kick by Raya, to be fair. Havertz nicks it. Axe's come on for, I think it was Gardival. Axe then makes a challenge, and he hasn't been pulled back for a foul. Noku to Salvino now. Haaland. Saliba. Brilliant tackle. Haaland really hasn't looked at it today, to be fair. He has got his goal, but Gabriel and Saliba have contained him really well, to be fair. Fabio Vieira is warming up for Arsenal in a substitution. And I don't think it's going to be for anyone remotely like Isak or Saka, to be honest. I think they're playing for the 90 minutes. And who can blame him? Right, with a good save from Haaland, to be fair. And it's for Kai Havertz who's going off. Obviously, Kai Havertz really just because of Mikel Moreno's injury, of course. Moreno's been out for a while, I believe. We haven't seen him in a while. I think he'll be back maybe by the end of the year or the end of the season, but unfortunately for Gabriel Martinelli, his season was pretty much over with that ACL injury. Tackles the ball and gets an Arsenal throw. And in his haste, it was a bit unfortunate. Jacqueline Rice has found Isak again! 5-1! It is game over now. Maybe not for the league, but certainly for today. Alexander Isak is impenetrable. Unbelievable form right now for him today. Setting a message. If you want this title, City, you're going to have to try and stop me scoring. Well, they haven't managed to do that today. 4 for Isak. 1 for Saka. Probably the best duo act in the league. Goal 27 for Alexander Isak. Will he get to 36? He may just. Saka. Beautiful. And Edison with a save. Well, City have been blown out of the stadium, or more like they have, but by one man rather than 11. One man and a backup role for Bukayo Saka, I guess. Brighton have scored a third. They're pulling away from Nottingham Forest now. Haaland. And it's saved by Raya. Back come Arsenal again. They've been relentless. Isak has not stopped moving. A plethora of substitutions warming up on the bench. Trossard is one of them. And I think we can guess many of these substitutions right now. Load management is in effect. Saka, Isak and Odegaard all going off for Nwaneri, Pachado and Leandro Trossard. His best are being saved for the Carabao Cup, perhaps. Maybe Arteta is taking that match seriously. And that is testament to Arsenal's squad depth this year. And Arteta, he is wrapping them up in cotton wool, but you can understand why. But their job is done, and Arsenal look to win this game now. Unless City can stage a remarkable comeback, and they can. We know they can. I know they can very, very well. Back in, 2012? Yeah, that fateful day with Manchester City against Crystal Palace. And, one of the most famous goals of all time, which, it kind of sunk us, to be fair. We were seconds away from winning that title that day, and Aguero. Sergio Aguero. You know it. Right, good save. So we know City are capable of it, but I think even today, even that might be a bit too much. Here's Fabio Vieira. And here is Trossard. I don't really think he knew what he was doing there. I think he was just trying to get it out as far away from the Arsenal goal as possible. I think that's probably a good strategy, actually. And here's John Stones, and there was a mix-up there with his defender. Here is Foden. Phil Foden just has the beating of everyone, doesn't he? And City must drop another goal here. No. Oh, maybe. Oh, and what a tackle by Saliba. What a tackle. It could have so easily been a penalty. But he got the ball first. Saliba and Gabriel have been sensational today. Yes, maybe Gabriel was a little bit at fault for the goal, perhaps, but they've kept them contained for the most part. Ranieri, brilliant play from Arsenal again. And here is Ben White with a ball in a ball. Thanks, Gyökeres. Oh, couldn't quite reach it. Oh, Arsenal's play has been brilliant. They are playing like champions. If they don't win anything here at the end of this season, I think it's going to be a massive disappointment. They've played football that deserves it. Arteta's done master strokes that deserve it. David Raya has had performances that deserve it. Everyone has had performances that deserve it. And maybe today, maybe, just maybe, one hand could be on the title. Well, at least a finger. Let's say finger, shall we? I don't think it's one hand. It's probably not that much. But it's definitely, certainly a finger on it. I can certainly see it. They'll certainly see it at the end of it tonight. They'll look at it and they'll be like, we're heading that way. And this is a huge step. Charlie Patino getting on the act too. And the fingertip saved literally by Edison, of all people. Not of all people. He's obviously really good at that. Oh. Well, where was the City that played at the Etihad, you know? Arsenal really struggled with them. But today, Arsenal have had their way. They'll take it. Well, it's going to be deafening in here when that final whistle blows. Because the Arsenal fans really are starting to begin to believe. It's been there since the start of the season that this could be their year. I think now it is almost a thing they can see. It's a thing they can see now. They can see that Premier League trophy in the distance. This truly could be their year now. Saliba puts it out for a corner. What a huge win. And what a huge way to send a message. Arsenal have set a standard statement tonight. City are going to have to do some catching up. Because this Arsenal team is something completely new to them and to us. And my word, did they bring out their best today. If the Carabao Cup goes, but they win the league, then Arteta has pulled a masterstroke. But then he didn't need to, because he has the players to do it. This year could be the year that North London truly is forever on the N5. We're not there yet, but they've taken a huge step towards it. Isak was sensational, and so is everyone else. Arsenal 5, Manchester City 1. So, all the other scores from a vital weekend. And that wasn't the end of the shocks. Chelsea 1, West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Brighton 3, Ipswich 1, Southampton 1, Everton 2, Leicester City 1, that's vital. Bournemouth 2, Liverpool 2, Newcastle 2, Fulham 1 is again vital. Villa 2, Wolves 1, We'll get a couple of scores probably coming through in a second, but for right now, let's look at the table. So Arsenal do have that 5-point lead, but Newcastle all of a sudden look kind of right back in it, at least for second, because they're still, say, 7 points behind Arsenal right now. We've got another score coming in. Brentford 1, Spurs 0, and Manchester United 1, Crystal Palace 1, as they just continue to struggle. Meanwhile, back to the table, Newcastle then just 2 points behind City now. That's a vital win that Newcastle just earned with City losing. Liverpool in 4th, increasing their gap to Spurs, I think, because Spurs lost and they got a point. Chelsea now up to 6th. Marcelo's getting it together there now. Brighton 7th. Aston Villa have actually made their way back up to 8th now, so they're actually back in the Europa League places, I believe. West Ham's expense by a point. Little Brentford doing a grand big job in 10th there. Now 3 points clear of 11th place Bournemouth. Manchester United just continuing to sink lower and lower. They could probably finish about as low as 15th if that keeps up. They've been horrible this year, to be honest. Fulham 13th, followed by Crystal Palace. So I think the lowest Manchester United probably could finish is 14th right now, because then there's a bit of a gap between Leicester City and Crystal Palace. Everton get out of the relegation zone with a vital win back in 16th. Let's hope they can spur on from here. Forest just outside and in the relegation zone. I think for the first time this season is Ipswich. Southampton and Wolves have been confined to the bottom for a while now. What an absolutely vital weekend of Premier League results, which really could have shaped the table for the rest of the year. But it's not over by a long chalk yet.